I built this report the same way I build everything. I pointed a model at the week's news and told a workflow to fan out, check every figure against its primary source, and throw out anything that could not be confirmed. This week, that mattered more than usual. 3 of the loudest numbers going around were wrong. 1 was invented outright. So before I tell you what happened, here is what survived. And underneath all of it, one story the whole industry spent the week trying not to say out loud. Start with the number that frames everything. Last summer, MIT's Project NANDA studied enterprise generative AI in the field, not in a demo. Their finding: about 95% of enterprise Gen AI pilots delivered no measurable return, 95, against an estimated $30 to $40 billion in spending. Now, you'll see a different number floating around this week, 61%, dressed up as a fresh MIT study. I went looking for it. It traces to a single uncited blog and nothing else, so I cut it. The real figure is worse, and it's older, and it's been sitting there in plain sight. The divide was never about how capable the model is. It's about whether anyone defined what success would look like before they shipped. And the analysts are bracing for it. Gartner expects more than 40% of agentic AI projects to be canceled by the end of 2027 over runaway cost and unclear value. They also expect 6 in 10 AI projects to be abandoned simply because the underlying data was never ready for them. Different sources, same verdict. The technology is not the thing that's failing. Here's the beat that stopped me. In May, Sinch surveyed more than 2,500 senior decision-makers across 10 countries. 74% of them had already rolled back a live AI customer service agent, put one into production, then pulled it. But that's not the shocking part. The rollback rate didn't go down at the companies with the best governance. It went up, 81%. The better a company's monitoring, the more often it killed its own agents. Sit with that. The most measured teams weren't failing more. They could simply see the failures everyone else was shipping blind. The rollback isn't the bug. The rollback is what measurement looks like when it's actually working. If you want the cause underneath the symptom, a team at Princeton just published it. They tested 15 agentic models spanning early 2024 to today. Across that stretch, accuracy climbed the way it always does. Reliability barely moved, and here's why that's so easy to miss. The field keeps scoring one number, accuracy, when reliability is really 4 things: consistency, robustness, predictability, safety. Squeeze all of that into a single score, and you hide whether you can actually trust the thing twice. You can't manage what you only measure with one number. So watch what the biggest software company on Earth did about it. At Build 2026, the headline releases weren't a smarter model. The marquee tools were Rubric, whose entire job is to write down the criteria you'll grade an agent against. An agent optimizer, which runs an observe, evaluate, optimize, deploy loop, and scores every candidate before it ships. Around them, an Agent 365 SDK for audit trails and access control. Read that list again. Define your success criteria, measure against them, govern the result. That's not a model, that's a framework, productized and put on a price list. And the tell underneath the tell. Microsoft also rolled out its own small coding model, MAI Code 1 Flash, as just another option you can pick inside Copilot. The model became the swappable part. The method became the product. Now the other side of the gap, because it's not all failure. Cognition, the team behind the Devin agent, just raised $1 billion at a $26 billion valuation. That part is real, and it's on the promise of outcomes, not a benchmark. Their pitch says Mercedes-Benz took a project scoped at 8 months down to 8 days. But Mercedes hasn't confirmed it, and Cognition won't say which system, so I'll call it what it is. A vendor claim, not a verified result. The honest version is simpler. The money is betting that a written-down target and a loop to measure against it is the asset. Same commodity models underneath. And the market is voting, with real money. On June 1st, Anthropic confidentially filed the first draft paperwork toward going public. Not a finished IPO, a draft. And the big valuation numbers you'll see attached to it come from its last funding round, not the filing. Put that next to Cognition's billion-dollar raise, and the pattern is hard to miss. The capital is flowing to the operating layer, the governed, supported, measured way that models actually get used, not to whoever tops a leaderboard this week. That's the report. Same as last week, I cut what I couldn't stand up against a primary source. A 61% failure stat that lives on one uncited blog, and 2 Microsoft announcements making the rounds, Project Polaris and Azure Agent Mesh, that I couldn't find in a single Microsoft source. What's left is one sentence. The model is the commodity, and the method is the asset. And this week, everyone with capital started paying for the asset. If you can't say in one line how you'll measure whether your AI worked, you're already inside the 95%. I'm Sios, same time next week.